Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Mark, this is Mark's Mods. And today guys, we are going to be doing our U96 build. So we are going to do issue 61 of Build the U96. And today we have got LEDs. And then we will be putting all the compartment for the non-commissioned officers compartment together. So all the bits that we've been working on are finally going to come together and we will finish that compartment off, which I'm really looking forward to, but kind of dreading the next compartment because, like I said before, it's the engine room and that is detailed to high heaven. But it's a challenge and I'll take on a challenge anytime. Anyway, lots to do, so let's get started with today's build. So with all that said, let's get modelling. Okay, issue 61 is 5 LED cables, but we are doing a little bit more than that. So here is 4 of the LED cables, and we basically need to put some labels on the cables. So these have been all labelled L1. Okay, so that's one on there. There were 4 of these to do. One on there. So it must be quite a lot of lighting in this section. I don't think we've had this many to do before. Oh. Hey, I could be wrong. Okay, that's another one on. I'll be interested to see when we get the main circuit board for this, how it's all going to go. Because there is a lot going on in this ship. There is a lot going on. Electrics wise. Okay, so that's all them labelled up. And then we just have to do this for the red LED. And we know it's the red LED because it's got these red heat shrink at the end, which is a great way of telling us which one it is. I'm not being sarcastic there, just saying a very, very good way of telling us what colour the red LED is. Makes it a lot easier when it's visual. Okay, so now they are all labelled up. We'll move on to the next section. So, if we bring our the deck head, isn't it? Yes. It first wants us to put the red LED into this hole here. So we'll do that, and then you just push, and then the rest are white LEDs. So white one in there, white one in there, okay, for some strange reason that one's not going in and securing. Definitely a white one. If this one, right, so what I might have to do is just put a tiny bit of glue just on the top there, because that hole seems to be a lot bigger than the others. Just to hold this LED in place. So I'm just going to run it round the rim. I don't want to haze up the LED. just like that. And I'll put that in. And just hold that there for a few seconds while the glue takes. Okay, so now that's been done, that still needs a little bit more time. We'll move on to the next bit because this can have time to dry. Just want to position it in a way where it sticks. Okay, so we need our compartment and we need the back wall. And what we're simply going to be doing is we're going to be putting this basically together. So it's going to look like that. We are gluing this on. If I just remove that, and I'll put some glue on the tabs. Okay. It should all line up, which it does. So that is now in place. Just move that to one side because we need this piece next, and we need our battery compartment. Now this is going to go on. It needs to be this way around. We've got a tab here which is going to fit into there. Now with the tab and the installation, start bulker, secure the parts fast. Right, so it just wants us to put that into there and then screw in with an EP screw from the other side. It doesn't say anything about gluing that in place. So we'll do that. Get an EP screw. No. PH0 for these. It doesn't say anything about gluing it in place, just to screw it in place. Now that doesn't hold great, really. We just take it to the side. It's just getting a good enough grip on it without breaking the glue on the batteries. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty good in there. So I'm happy with that. So if I move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is it wants us to put our compartment in, bulkhead. Right, I'm just, once the tabs are in the compartment panel are seated in the slot in the bulkhead, secure in place using an EP screw as shown. Right, okay, so once this, I'm going to do this on the top camera. This is just going to go in like that. And then we secure that in through there with an EP screw. Again, this is going to be fiddly to keep a grip on while I do it. But we'll try. It doesn't say anything about gluing this in place. So this is going to be fun. I ain't got too much of a bad grip on it. And that is actually in place. Okay, so moving on to the next section. Now what it wants us to do next is it wants us to get these that we've done in a previous issue. And I think, right, so it wants the sort of straighter one to go into the top, and then it should line up. It's definitely that one. Okay, so I'm just double checking. It's a tailor ventilation pipe 60-6 to 60-67 and the linkage 60-1, not pictured. Firstly, guide the gate valve into a small horizontal slot in the bulkhead indicated by the arrow. Take the valve of the ventilation line and seat in the slot in the bulkhead, the opening shown by the arrow. Right, okay. So this is going to be interesting to do. Right, so because it's just not, it's not telling us to glue anything. And that to me is a little bit twisted. I'm wondering if I can twist that round. Now that has gone into place. Just, I think this is going to need to be glued. So let's get some glue and do it that way. So I'm just going to pop some glue where the tab goes in. Glue that in place. Push that bulkhead forward. This is incredibly tight. And then I might just put a dab of glue just on the top there. Get some more glue. And that should hold it in place. Should. Right, it's not gluing in at this side. It's very tight, for it to get in there. I think this is going to be a bit of a lengthy one. But, oh well. Okay, so I've got that one in place, and then it says about getting this next one in place. But I can't really do anything until this one has dried. So this is going to sit next to it. As you can see. I'm going to put a bit of glue on this part first. Because I am still having to hold the other side in place while the glue adheres. Come on, go in. go in where you should do. Right, I think I've got that in. Oh, the other side's just come out. Right, let me get these in, guys, lined up, and I'll be right back. So back in a few moments.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've got them pipes in now. They're nice and secure in there. Now, I'm going to deviate from the instructions slightly, and I'll tell you why. We have this pipe to put in. Now, it doesn't tell us to put this in until further down the instructions, but I think if I did that, it's going to be harder to put in way down in the instructions. So I'm actually going to put this pipe in now, and it just goes next to these pipes. So I'm just going to dip one end in the super glue, the other end in the super glue, and put this pipe in. I just don't see why we've got to wait to get it in. See where it went on the other side, that would be great. There we go, so that pipe's in. I just think it's going to be easier putting that in now. Okay, next what we need is we need this bulkhead, because we're going to be fitting this on. So this is going to go on, lining up the tabs just like so, making sure it's fully pushed down, which it is, and then we need to secure it in with 2 EP screws. So just going to get one on my screwdriver, and I'm going to put the first one and bang in the middle. And that is coming together beautifully. You just hear it. Okay, we need another one just down into here. Make sure it's nice and tight and all lined up. Okay. Next what we need to do is we need to get our lighting section, our roof. I keep thinking something's come off there, but it's not. It's actually the doors. And this is just going to simply slot in. So I just need to bring it in, and I've got 2 notches at each side to get in. That's one side in. That's the other side in. I think we're almost all lined up. Nice and slowly doing this, making sure everything's slotting into place. I'm pretty happy with that, apart from I'm going to trap a wire just here. Okay, so that is all in place, and we need to secure that with 2 EP screws, 2 EPs on each side. Now I'll get the first 2 in, and then that's when it asks you to actually put that pipe in that I put in earlier. Why would we wait this long to put that pipe in? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So read the instructions, and if you can make it easier on yourself, then go for it. That's all I'm going to say. I've actually noticed I've lost an LED. That one that I had to glue in has come out, so I'll sort that out after the recording. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so yeah, now we'll put that pipe in. No point. Put it in early when you have access. Okay, this is the last screw going in, and then this will be complete. Okay, and that's it. That's it complete. Apart from that wire that came out that I'm going to have to re-glue, but that is what our quarters, non-commissioned officers' quarters, looks like. Really impressed. Fantastic. So that is it. That's all there's to do in this stage. Yeah, really chuffed with how that one's gone. A few bits, but it's never easy when you're putting all the parts together. Just making sure everything is lined up the way it should be. But that is issue 61 complete. Well guys, that is it for our U96 for today. Thank you for watching. Always long videos when we're putting all the bits and pieces, but you need to make sure that everything is lining up, so it does take that little bit longer. And why it asks us right till the end to put that pipe in, I have no clue whatsoever. It just pays to read the instructions ahead of time, so guys, and if you think you can make it easier, because that would have been probably some tweezer work what we would have had to do there to put that in, and we could have bent the pipe, snapped it or anything. So I'm glad I put it in when I did. But yeah, read the instructions first and then build. That's my tip of the day. Anyway guys, if you like this video, please could you give it a massive thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell and you'll be notified of any future videos. But as for always, stay safe and bye for now.